Recap in 8 minutes presents today the Japanese suspense movie Honor Student. Warning of spoilers ahead. The story starts at Ichikawa High School, where the student Asuka Miyamoto, known for her poor academic performance, scores 0 on an easy test. Her boyfriend Yoshida tries to uplift her, despite the teacher's concerns about her future. In a history test, Asuka faces a question about a famous monument known for granting wishes. Unsure of the correct answer, she uses her imagination to invent a mythical place called Gachimo. As soon as she writes the name on the paper, a bright light can be seen outside the window. Somewhere in the city, a strange jungle path forms on its own. The next day, Asuka and Yoshida stumble upon a mysterious path and an unknown shrine, where Asuka makes a wish to improve her grades. Despite her belief in the shrine's power, she scores only 5 out of 100 on another test, and mistakenly writes Yoshida's name as the Prime Minister of Japan. Not knowing the answers to the test questions, Asuka ends up falling asleep at school. Later, at her house, she and Yoshida overhear Asuka's parents arguing about serious family problems: the father's threatened job and the mother's extramarital affair. Asuka leads Yoshida to her room, trying to avoid her parents' argument. Along the way, Yoshida notices signs of Keizuki's presence, Asuka's reclusive twin brother. Keizuki, once a top student, became withdrawn after failing his high school entrance exam, abandoning his academic success and immersing himself in computer games. Asuka becomes downcast after talking about her brother. To cheer her up, Yoshida goes to the supermarket to buy something for them to eat. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the teacher is grading the tests. Suddenly, the shrine begins to glow, as do the teacher's glasses. Asuka, growing impatient, calls Yoshida, who tells her he's too busy to meet up. Shortly after, she receives a surprising message from a classmate. Yoshida has unexpectedly been appointed the new Prime Minister of Japan, with news of his appointment and interviews quickly going viral on social media. The next day, Asuka goes to school still puzzled about how Yoshida, who had just gone to the supermarket, became the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, other news about the disappearance of presidents from various countries also circulates around the school. The teacher, with a smile, hands Asuka her test, revealing a surprisingly high score despite many blank answers. Upon closer examination, she realizes that Yoshida became the Prime Minister because she wrote it on the test. Similarly, the presidents of other countries are disappearing because she left all the other questions blank. The shrine granted her wish, but in a way different than she imagined. Now the world will change according to her answers. Asuka tries hard in her studies, but ends up falling asleep from exhaustion. The next day, she and Yoshida nervously await the test results. She scores the highest marks, but is worried about the changes in the world caused by her answers. At home, she discovers that her answers have altered reality, boosting purifier sales and financially aiding her father. Conflicted, Asuka rushes to correct her answers, trying to prevent further consequences. After the chaotic situations caused by her previous answers, Asuka quickly corrects the answer sheets of the tests, where she had scored the highest marks, in an attempt to reverse the changes in the world. Then, she creatively uses her power to solve her parents' marital problems. In one test, she writes her mother's lover's name as an astronaut about to travel to space, which leads to the end of the extramarital relationship. With her mother now more dedicated to the family, Asuka feels her life is improving. The only remaining concern is to help her twin brother, Keizuki. In the next test, Asuka writes that Keizuki will come out and wish everyone a good day. However, the plan doesn't work as she expected. Instead, Asuka's father invades Keizuki's room and forces him out, causing a major argument in the family. It is revealed that Asuka's father is again being threatened with dismissal, and her mother has started getting involved with other men again. Asuka realizes that solving her problems with her power is only a temporary solution. She starts making a real effort to talk to Keizuki. Since he is still an academic genius, she studies out loud outside his room every day, Azuka makes several mistakes while studying aloud, which annoy Kizuki, but he doesn't correct her in the initial days. Then, one day, as Azuka tries to skip a challenging math problem, Kizuki speaks up for the first time, guiding her through the solution. With Kizuki's guidance, Azuka begins to take her studies more seriously, although he continues to communicate with her only through the closed door, maintaining his reclusive nature. Inspired by Azuka's change, her parents also begin to reform themselves. Her father dedicates more to his work, and her mother cuts ties with her lovers, focusing on the family. A week later, Azuka scores top marks on a test all by herself. She rushes to share the good news with Kizuki, but he refuses to open the door. Nonetheless, the next morning, Azuka and her parents are having breakfast together when, to everyone's surprise, Kizuki comes downstairs and greets them. He also apologizes to his father for giving up and promises to do better. One day, on their way to school, Azuka and Yoshida find the first test that Azuka had torn up after scoring only 5 out of 100. They piece it together, and it mysteriously forms a path leading to the shrine. Only then does Azuka realize that she had written about a wish-granting shrine called Gauchimo as the first answer on the test. The shrine must have manifested because of this. The couple quickly goes to the shrine and pleads to reverse the wish and change the world back to normal. They wait for something to happen and are disappointed when nothing changes. At school, the teacher gives another test, this time on geography and world population. Suddenly, Azuka remembers that the shrine only granted her wish because she offered a coin. This means that to reverse the wish, she will have to retrieve the coin. Azuka quickly finishes the test and rushes to retrieve the coin, but it is inside a locked chest. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Kizuki and his parents are talking about his future. He is happy to have finally overcome his isolation and is excited about the life ahead of him. His mother also expresses regret for having caused trouble to her husband. The family finally resolves their differences all at once. Simultaneously, we see Azuka's teacher grading the most recent test. He gets to Azuka's test, and as usual, she scores 100. While Azuka is trying to retrieve the coin, she accidentally drops it back into the chest. Suddenly, the coin shines intensely, and seconds later, no one is in front of the shrine. In fact, the entire city, country, and the world are empty, as if all human beings had vanished out of thin air. In the final scene, we see that Azuka missed the last question on the recent test. The question was about the current world population. Since Azuka left it blank, human beings ceased to exist. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel. Thank you for watching.